Guys, I just recently woke up, so excuse my voice. But I was thinking, what will I have for breakfast? Well, I got it. We're going to have disappointment for breakfast because today we're watching Every Reason That Proves Man vs. Wild was fake. You're joking. No, I do not agree with this title. I saw this and I was like, what? I need to see this because I'm gonna be so freaking disappointed, is the word. This was something that I used to watch as a child and look up to and be like, I want to be him. You're telling me it's fake? I went all through all that for what? For nothing? I was with him in all these scenes, you know? I was going through it. Okay, anyways. Let's get to the video.
The news that reality TV is frequently faked shouldn't come as a surprise. But given that Bear Grylls is an outdoor expert who survived a massive fall while in the British Special Forces, climbed Mount Everest before he was 25, and traversed the North Atlantic in an inflatable raft, he gets the benefit of the doubt. But evidence suggests Grylls may not be as rugged a survivalist as he seems. In fact, some of his wilderness tips have even been called into question by other experts. So what gives? Well, today we're unpacking all the evidence that proves Bear Grylls fakes his survivalist shows. But
I'm already disappointed. What do you mean? What do you mean? Did he not climb the Mount Everest? Probably did, but like, give me something, you know?
Before we get started, be sure to subscribe to the Weird History channel. After that, leave a comment and let us know what other reality TV mayhem you would like to hear about. Now, let's see what conflict is more intense, man versus wild or man versus reality. So, is Bear Grylls a fake, or are all his Man vs. Wild episodes true? Well, the answer is strangely complicated. The premise of Grylls' show is that he's in a dangerous situation where he must rescue himself from being stranded or lost in the wilderness. To do so, he supposedly constructs equipment from scavenged objects, sleeps outside, drinks urine, and eats bugs. Not necessarily in that order. On Man vs. Wild, or Born Survivor, as it's known in the UK, Grylls is shown taking extreme treks through the wilderness and sleeping outside. But in 2008, the truth came out. Grylls often stays in hotels instead of roughing it. The star apologized for misleading viewers, telling the BBC, "The truth is much less exciting. We filmed these things over 6 days and, after filming the night stuff, we're back with the crew in a base camp lodge."
Excuse me? You're telling me you almost had me out there in the woods when I was like 6 years old trying to make a house out of sticks and sleep outside, and you were sleeping in a hotel? I don't know if I'm getting disappointed or angry for breakfast, or both.
Grylls went on to explain that the base camp could be a tented camp in the Sahara or in Sumatra, ponchoed up in the jungle, and that some of the hotels he stays in had 4 walls but not a roof, or a roof with no walls. But he stresses that he and the crew do go out and film the night sequences, so they are definitely outdoors.
Ooh, after having a warm shower at the hotel, they go outdoors. How exciting. And yes, I am not having a good day today. Oh, why am I taking this so personal?
Sometimes. For just about any other show, this would be completely understandable, if perhaps a union violation. However, for fans of Grylls, it feels disappointing, if not outright misleading. After all, the whole premise of the show is that he's going to be roughing it in some of the most dangerous places on Earth. It's literally titled Man vs. Wild. Learning that Grylls is sleeping in hotels and luxury tents sounds a bit more like man versus inconvenience. In one episode of Man vs. Wild, Grylls is supposedly stranded on a deserted island. He's shown building a traditional Polynesian raft out of natural materials like bamboo and palm leaves. The footage makes it seem as though he is actually constructing the craft. But in reality, survival consultant Mark Weinert and the show's crew put the raft together, then disassembled it so Grylls could make it on camera. Sort of like IKEA furniture. What's more, Grylls was actually in Hawaii, an island that is not really deserted. As Weiner
Speechless. I'm speechless. I'm annoyed. What do you mean? He didn't even know how to build the raft? Guys. My childhood is it's done. It's non-existent. You broke it.
put it, viewers are being naive if they really believe everything happens the way it is shown on TV. Well, sure, but we're not talking about an episode of Knight Rider here. Griddles.
I mean, I wasn't stupid neither. Like, I knew that there's a camera crew and everything, like if something was to happen to him, like he has people there and all of that, like basic stuff. But come on, sleeping in a hotel and you don't even build your own rafts? Brother. You could have made a cooking show, or something.
Does some pretty extreme things in the name of survival, from eating bugs to swimming in frozen lakes. These may look like spur-of-the-moment decisions he uses to illustrate potential survival scenarios, but they're actually planned out well in advance. Grylls even has a stunt tester, Megan Hine, who tries out the death-defying acts before he shoots them for TV, sort of like a poison tester for Evel Knievel. While this may be disappointing to audiences, it's an unavoidable reality of producing a television show. If Grylls were to get hurt or sick doing survival stuff on episode 1, production would have to shut down, putting a lot of people out of work and potentially costing the show millions of dollars. It's the same reason actors use stunt people. Kind of sounds like Grylls might be an actor. Fudging these kinds of details for safety reasons doesn't only extend to Grylls. On his show, The Island with Bear Grylls, a group of people were stranded on an island to see who could survive in the wilderness with nothing but their knowledge and gumption. And part of that survival meant finding food and clean water. However, Grylls and his crew placed fresh water into rubber-lined pools to ensure the contestants would be able to find it. That arguably defeats the show's entire premise, but they also couldn't risk any of the contestants dying of dehydration, not even if it makes good TV.
I mean, I guess you won't let people die, but come on. They could have at least tried.
In a Reddit AMA, survivalist Les Stroud discussed how Grylls' survival skills seem questionable, claiming that many of the actual survival skills taught are bogus. Others are pure TV stunt entertainment and do not relate to the world of survival. Stroud went on to suggest that the show pulls outdated and incorrect information from other sources or invents survival scenarios out of whole cloth, rather than relying on any of Grylls' purported expertise. Stroud continued his Bear Grylls flame war, saying that the show's advice could result in worsening the situation. My professional opinion on the subject of survival is that he is not an instructor I would ever suggest to be followed. In one episode of the show, Grylls scales a railway bridge with no safety equipment, walks through a dark train tunnel, and jumps onto a moving locomotive to reach safety. In other words, he takes a lot of risks for no apparent reward.
See, this is kind of the thing, it doesn't, if you want to make a show out of this, we'll do it, but don't pretend like they're actual survival skills, because people will try and use them. I mean, it just annoys me. I'm annoyed because this was something that I used to watch at my grandparents' house when I was a child, in our summer cabin in the woods, and then I'd be like, yay! I know survival, and no, clearly I don't. I feel betrayed.
Other than looking totally awesome, of course, which is pretty important for a TV show, but less so in a genuine wilderness situation. Grylls is essentially the Tom Cruise of survivalist culture. He's making good entertainment, but no one should attempt anything he does. Speaking of not trying this at home, Grylls has become somewhat notorious for drinking his own urine. There's even a meme about it, and that's a shame. He's also not picky about the source. On his program, Running Wild with Bear Grylls, he prepared stewed mouse by cooking it in urine, donated by his guest, actress Michelle Rodriguez. Though some survivors of extraordinary disasters have resorted to drinking their own waste, the practice is discouraged. Urine contains bacteria and toxins that can be harmful, and drinking it is similar to drinking seawater. meaning it will not hydrate you. And like seawater, you should only drink it as a last resort. Definitely not in a mouse stew.
I think that's disgusting. There's so many ways that you can get water, like, other than that. I mean, wherever they were in that clip as well, there's still like plants around. I'm guessing if you dug down, there would be water somewhere, maybe. Or maybe not, actually. That's like a desert. But, mm, mm,
The island with Bear Grylls sees contestants supposedly dropped onto a remote island where they must survive without any resources or modern amenities, and potentially coming into contact with wild animals. To ensure this happened, producers allegedly set caimans loose to create dramatic wildlife encounters. Hope they all got their SAG card. But perhaps the biggest deception was the identities of the contestants themselves. Viewers were told the men didn't have any outdoor survival experience, but a few of them were TV professionals, and some had even worked with Grylls before. One had even previously spent time in extreme environments and
course.
wars.
Also, like, it's pretty rare, actually. Like, obviously, in all like these survival series, they come across these crazy animals, but that's pretty rare. Like, for that to happen in real life. So, I mean, it's kind of obvious, but
zones. Hope they all got their SAG card. On another episode of Man vs. Wild, Grylls was shown coming face to face with wild horses. The encounter with the creatures was filmed in the Sierra Nevada mountains, or as he put it, one of the few places in the US where horses still roam wild, like the ones the Rolling Stones sang about. The thing is, the horses were not so wild. They were apparently tame and had been trucked in specifically for filming. And Grylls doesn't give the best advice in the event of a real animal encounter, or one that seemed real anyway. When he came across a bear while filming Man vs. Wild, he recommended that people stranded in the woods run away from the predator. Odds are a good number of you just said, "Oh, don't do that." Bears will chase anything running away from them, which is a fairly well-known fact about bears. The best tactic is to move slowly, walking to the left or right of the bear in a deliberate manner, while keeping it in sight, kind of like a crab. Under no circumstances should anyone turn around and beat feet to the nearest tree, not even Bear Grylls.
that is actually crazy.
Otherwise, that bear'll grill ya. So what do you think? Is Bear Grylls a real survivalist or just an entertainer? Let us know in the comments below, and while you're at it, check out some of these other videos from our weird history.
Please let me know if this was equally as disappointing to you as it was for me. And also, that is absolutely crazy to like say that you should run away from a bear in a survival TV show. Like, that's like common knowledge. That's like you should definitely not run. That is so freaking disappointing, honestly. I mean, I kind of get it. Yeah, I mean, look at him. Does he look like a man that would survive in the wild? Not really. He looks like an actor. But it's still disappointing, you know. I mean, I think I questioned. Now that I think of it, I think I questioned his TV show a lot when I was watching it, because there was just moments where you could tell that this is like, you know, very much like production, but yeah, but I haven't seen his show in a long time neither. So I mean, at least I get the childhood memories out of it. And now what I do watch is like there's like a bunch of YouTubers that do actual survival in like jungles, and and the videos are really cool, and you can tell that they're alone and they're recording alone and everything. So yeah, I would opt for that. If you know, TV is TV. But yeah, it is still disappointing. Yeah, let me know in the comments your thoughts. I definitely got disappointed for breakfast, and hopefully next thing I'll watch is something a bit more happy. Oh, but I still enjoyed watching this, and thank you for joining me for this video. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.